After spending the last year being bombarded with television garbage like She-Hulk, Rings of Power, Obi-Wan Kenobi, Sand Inc., and The Witcher Blood Origin, I was hoping that things were going to finally start to look up. Just how many more shows competing for the title of the worst show ever could Hollywood give us? Things had to be looking up, right? How wrong I was. Only 12 days into the new year, HBO Max dropped Velma on us. Forget all the other terrible shows I mentioned. Velma takes the cake and drops a deuce right into it. Based on the classic Scooby-Doo cartoon, Velma's supposed to be an origin story about the beginning of the Mystery Inc. gang. But in reality, it's just another crap Hollywood reboot that's more interested in woke ideology instead of telling a good story. And it's all under the phony guise of updating the story for modern audiences. Woke reboots have become a cliche at this point, and Velma's no different. All of the lame update ideas are in there for no other reason than to get rid of what Hollywood thinks is problematic. All the original characters in Scooby-Doo were white. Can't have that. So now most of the original characters are race swapped. Velma's Indian, Daphne is Asian, and Shaggy's now a black guy called Norville. There are also gay romances now where none existed before. Velma and Daphne are now in love, and Daphne has two lesbian moms. Also, in the cartoons, the gang only succeeded by working together. In the reboot, Velma's portrayed as the real genius, and the rest of the characters are just lucky enough to be around to bask in her brilliance. Especially the dumb Fred. Fred's the only member of the original crew who isn't race-swapped. He stays a white guy, because the story needs a villain and someone to make fun of, and there's nothing a woke reboot loves more than to point out how awful white guys are. Right, Velma?
Normally, origin stories are about tall, handsome guys struggling with the burden of being handed even more power. If I were a rich white dude, I'd kill everybody just to get away with it. Fred is probably innocent.
Yeah, but isn't it a little comforting to see a rich white guy get wrongly convicted for once?
I'm too distracted to enjoy it.
Crystal Cove Hope Initiative.
Yeah, acronyms! Wait, so a couple of middle-aged white dudes are gonna decide which of us are hottest?
I think one of the most shocking things about this so-called comedy is just how mean it is. It feels like a 40-something woman's petty attempt at revenge on people who were mean to her in high school. And now she's using the Scooby-Doo brand to air her grievances. All of the popular girls in school are vapid intellectually and can't think for themselves. They only choose to look good because they know that's what men want from them. The popular white guy, Fred, that everyone loves, is portrayed as an absolute moron who objectifies women. He's absolutely pathetic, and he can't even cut his own food. He's also got a tiny dick. I shit you not, this is a plot point, that Fred has a small dick.
It's not small, it's scared.
I'm sure it's not a coincidence that Velma, the character that the entire story revolves on, and who is portrayed as smarter than everyone else, is reimagined to look like series producer Mindy Kaling herself. It's also interesting that the Velma character is in love with Fred, even though he makes fun of her and says she isn't attractive. Maybe Mindy is working through some of her own therapeutic issues here. None of it's funny, and it gets awkward the more and more you watch the show. The show feels angry in its hate for people that Mindy Kaling evidently doesn't like. She's trying to say how awful hot girls, men, and especially white men in particular are while pointing out how awesome she is. Which I think is ironic because Velma herself is a pretty awful person in this show. She's supposed to be better than everyone, but she treats everyone around her horribly.
According to her own journal, Daphne is so messed up that she has a daily session with our school guidance counselor, Lamont, to discuss her issues.
She's upset about Fred ignoring her, but then she does the same to Norville, who's in love with her for some damn reason. When he confesses his feelings to her, she treats him like a complete joke and laughs at him.
You can't die! I like you. Like you.
Wait, what? No, you don't. You're like a brother to me. That's hilarious.
Your face is why I get up in the morning. You're the main character in all my dreams.
Okay, stop. I'm peeing.
The main story of the show is supposed to be about girls getting murdered in Velma's class and the disappearance of her mother. But neither is really important to the story, as the plot takes a backseat to Mindy Kaling's focus on identity politics. There was also these random inappropriate scenes with high school girls. It's weird, I know it's a cartoon, but come on. Scooby-Doo was supposed to be a kid's comedy. Like, what the fuck is going on in Mindy Kaling and the other writers' heads? It's just weird. I don't know why Hollywood keeps feeding us this shit at this point. None of this garbage ever succeeds. When you prioritize being woke over telling a good story, the final product always winds up being shit. I watched 4 episodes of Velma for this review, and I tapped out after that. So it's 4 more episodes than you need to watch now. This show is anti-entertainment. It's not even so bad it's good, it's just bad. Really fucking bad. For your own sake, skip this shit.